Welcome to the review for your Unit 8 test. Now this one's a little different than the other reviews we've done in that it's not an exact copy of the test. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the things that we know and how we can use what we know to answer the questions. So still, if you can do this, you should be okay solving the questions on the quiz or test. So the first thing is write the equation for the graphs below, then give the domain and range for each. For each graph, a equals 1. So basically what that is telling us is that for each question, we're just going to have something inside, maybe something outside. So remember, the inside stuff is left and right, the outside stuff is up and down. So what you want to do first is find the starting point, which in this case is going to be 3, 3. Now remember, this is h, so we're going to have x minus 3. This is k plus 3. Okay, and then domain and range. For our domain, it's going to start at 3 and go to infinity. Our domain is, our range is going to go from bottom to top, which is also beginning at 3 and going to infinity. We did really well in this last week. The only difference was that we had the equation already. But you did a really good job with this, so hopefully that still transfers. On the second problem, same thing. You're going to find the starting point, which is at -4, -5. Same thing. Okay, opposite of the inside, same as the outside. And there's our equation. Now here, our domain, again, starting from left to right, begins at -4 and goes to infinity. Range starts at -5, also goes to infinity. Okay, so that's that first section. Down here we have describe the changes from the parent function for each of these. We did an excellent job with this last week, and instead of going through a whole bunch of transformations, we're going to show 4 different ones and what they actually do. So in this first question, it's x plus 7. The plus 7 is on the inside. Inside means it's left and right movement. If it's plus, that means it is left 7 units. X minus 7, again, inside the square root. Now it's minus, that means it's going to be right 7 units. The third one has plus 7 afterwards. Now after means this is going to be up and down movement, so that's going to be up 7 units. After the square root and minus means we're going to go down 7 units. So reminder, this is not exactly the way the test looks, but if these are easy for you, then the test should also be easy because it's testing the same skills. And the last one here, it asks us to match the equations to the transformations in the form of the graph, from the graph of y equals square root of x. So again, this is from last week, set up a little bit differently, but basically you've got 4 equations over here and then 4 answer choices over here. So the first one has a 5 in the front, which means that that's a. A is greater than 1. When a is greater than 1, the answer is C, vertically stretched. The second one is 1/5, which means a is less than 1. When a is less than 1, the graph becomes flatter, which is the same thing as vertically compressed. This is basically what we just did up here. When it's minus, it means right. So this graph shifts right 5 units. Here we have a plus 5 on the outside. Plus 5 on the outside means it's going to shift up, so that will be B. Again, it's not matching on the test, but if you can do this, you can do the test. So let's take a quick break before we go to the other side of the page.